Alright, so hey, this is going to be a Savannah Monitor care video. Uh, so first off, let me start by saying this video should not be used as your only source of information in regards of caring for a Savannah Monitor lizard. You should do your own research and don't just jump into a lizard like this. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing and you have the resources and a financial background to take care of one. Now, at the end of this video, well, not at the end, but in the description below, I'll be posting a link to a really good Savannah Monitor care website where you can go and find a lot of good stuff about Savannah monitors. Alright, so let's begin the care video. So first, I want to start off by asking, do you think you're ready for a Savannah Monitor? Before even considering getting one of these guys, you might want to think about the amount of experience you have, because these are fairly experienced lizards. It's been about 9-10 years I've been keeping reptiles, and this is actually the first Savannah Monitor I've been successfully keeping, because I believe that I have had the experience with enough lizards to finally get one. I actually used to own a Savannah Monitor not a really long time ago, but like 3 years ago when I was like 11 or something. And what happened was, I jumped into it and I had him in a small cage, and he ended up dying, and it was my fault completely. But I learned my lesson, and I improved on my care, and a few years later, here I am now. So you can start these guys. So enclosures. You can start these guys out in something as simple as a 55-gallon tank, but I wouldn't go any smaller than a 55-gallon tank, really, simply because of their temperature needs, because they need fairly high temperatures, so you don't want to use a tank that's too small, because they will you won't be able to offer the right temperature gradient. So something like a 55-gallon tank with a damp towel over the screen, or some tinfoil over the screen to help trapping humidity, or better yet, a proper enclosure, which is a 4x2x2 custom-made reptile cage, like I have mine in right now. I started him off in this, and he's doing extremely well, as you can see. So yeah, I actually think a 4x2 cage is what's best, because it's good you get experience building cages, because in just a couple of months you're going to need to build yourself a huge 8x4 by 3 foot cage. Yes, 8x4 by 3 foot. Yes, these guys need that size in cage as adults. Alright, so now let's move on to temperatures, which is why the big cage is so important, because these guys actually need pretty high temperatures. 130 between 130 and 140 F as the basking temperatures, and that's really hot. That's how they like it, though. Like, most lizards shy away from basking spots that hit like 110. These guys love it. Like anything below 130 is really, it's actually considered unhealthy for a Savannah Monitor. Some keepers get away with 128 or something for a young one, but you're definitely going to need a 130, 140 basking spot for an older Savannah Monitor. And to achieve that, a lot of people will go out and buy a really high wattage pet store bulb, and just put it on. But the key to it is actually getting a low wattage bulb, but moving your basking spot, like this one right here, just stacking stuff up to get them closer to the light, so that you can use a low wattage bulb, and the only thing that's really hitting 140 is the basking spot, so the rest of the enclosure can stay nice and cool, and you'll have a nice cool side where you can go and cool down, and only in a warm side where if you want to stay warm, you can stay on it. Most people buy big bulbs and end up heating up the entire cage completely and dehydrating the lizard. So just make sure this is a 75-watt bulb inside of a 4x2x2 cage, and I'm getting 132, 130 because of my basking spot is raised. It used to be hotter when I had black slate, but I gave that to another one of my reptiles. These are actually the best to use. This is a floodlight. Now floodlights, it's best to use these. Just get them really close to your Savannah Monitor, and use a few of them, so that because the bigger the monitor gets, the longer the basking platform is gonna get. So you're gonna need a row of these, really low wattage, about 45 watt, close to the basking spot, and it's actually absolutely perfect. I'm not using mines at the moment because I actually broke mines being an idiot. That's a story for another video. And for some reason, people think that these guys need low humidity because of where they're from, because of the temperatures they need, uh, which is 140, so you automatically think desert reptiles, but that's not the case. These guys actually need fairly high humidity. I keep mine at 60%, which you probably couldn't have seen. But yeah, I use a digital hydrometer to measure them. Don't use the little circle ones because those are often incorrect by like 10%, and 10% is the difference between 40% and 50%, which is a huge gap. So use digital everything to measure your temperatures and all that. And speaking about measuring temperatures, this is what you need. This is a infrared temp gun, and what it does is it measures my surface temperatures, like my basking temps and stuff like that. So if he lets me you just point, and you measure the temps. Right now it's 106, and that's because it's still early in the morning, and I just turned my lights on. That's why he's still so dark, and his belly is not as fat as it normally is because he hasn't even eaten yet. It's really early. He just turned the lights on. Uh, but yeah, get one of these definitely if you got a Savannah Monitor. This is a must-have so you can measure your temperatures. You really don't want to guess your temps. You really don't. That's a mistake too many keepers make. And also, speaking about temperatures and humidity, another key fact about humidity is actually substrate. The best substrate to use with Savannah monitors would have to be a sand soil mix. A lot of people use cypress. Cypress is not really all that good to me because it dries out too fast actually, and the burrows, like once it dries out, the burrows are really crap. Cypress mulch, you can use it, but you gotta mist it too much. This sand soil, this stuff stays damp for a really long time at the core. It's really good burrowing. It holds burrows really good. As you can see, I can put my finger in completely, and nothing happened, and the burrow just stays there. This is good stuff. This is topsoil and sand mixed together. This is what you want. Just go to your local flower shop or something and just get 100% topsoil. It's plain old dirt, or you could go in your backyard or a local creek and just kind of dig away and just get your own dirt, and then go get some sand and mix it. You want to keep mixing until you get like a 75% topsoil, 25% sand thing. Oh, another thing, make sure you don't buy potting soil. You want 100% topsoil. That's the good stuff. Well, that's my Sav. Again, he's in the shed. But anyway, when you're mixing, you want to make sure that after you're done, you can do this with the substrate. You can make a ball out of it like that. Well, that's not really a ball. And it stays together like really like this. And it doesn't break apart easily. It only breaks apart if I crunch it like that. And it leaks no water. That's what you want. That's when you know you have the right amount of substrate, when it does that. So I'm trying to keep this video under 15 minutes, so I'm gonna speed through a little bit. But yeah, now on to the diet. Speaking of diet, what you want is, well, I don't understand. Like, a lot of people feed their Savannah monitors rodents for some reason. These animals in the wild rarely ever eat rodents, and it's actually a fact that less than 2% of the diet is actually mammals. These guys are invertebrate eaters. Like, they only eat mainly insects and mollusks in the wild, and it's not because rodents are not available to them where they're at. Rodents are actually really available to these guys. It's just they prefer to eat insects and mollusks in the wild. Like, it's much more healthier for these guys. They're not like other monitors, and they're not like tegus where they can eat ground turkey and rodents as a staple. These guys need insects mostly to thrive well. Like, a lot of keepers feed mice. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's not the best diet for them, is what I'm saying. And I like to give my animals the best. And what else? What's another good? Alright, so yeah, just insects and mollusks is really all you need. If you want to, you could throw an occasional, you could throw a rodent in there on occasion, I guess, if you want to just give it to them to switch up the diet a bit. It's your choice. It's your lizard. I'm just saying what's best and what works for me. But yeah, I actually feed him dubia roaches and superworms mostly. Yeah, that's mostly all he gets is dubia roaches and superworms. You know, those are the good. That's the good stuff for me. Uh, yeah, and I actually started my own colony, dubia roaches for him. You know, it's coming along really good. I'll see if he eat in front of the camera, which he probably won't, because you know he doesn't even eat in front of me really. He's actually a bit of a dick. Yeah, he's gonna let it get away. He's not gonna eat the roach in front of me. He never really eats in front of me. It's mostly I leave it there and then come back and he eats it. By the time I'm back, that's how he is. He's a shy eater. You'll get a lizard like that from time to time, I guess. As you can see, he's really timid around me. I had him since he was a hatchling, so yeah. Back to the care video. Enough of my rambling. No, that's pretty much it. Uh, that's the diet and all. Make sure you provide fresh water daily. You know, fresh water dish big enough for them to soak in, like that one down there. Uh, you want a lot of substrate, about 6 inches for a guy his size, and for an adult you want about a foot, maybe 2 feet of substrate. This is good for him. You know, he loves to burrow. He loves to burrow. You know, it helps him regulate the body temperatures and stuff, and it even helps him shed. As you can see, he's in shed right now, which is why he has a little bit of wrinkles, and he hasn't eaten yet. He just woke up. Gonna be feeding him soon. And if you're wondering, he's actually about, I think he's like 5, maybe 4 months or something, and about 11 inches. You know, he's still a small size, but he's growing up. But yeah, so this is my Savannah Monitor care video for you guys. I know I forgot on a lot of stuff probably, but yeah. Oh, one other thing, make sure you have hides at each end so that he won't have to choose safety over the proper temperature, because these guys are shy lizards. They stress out easily, so you know, provide them with security, and you know, try to stay out of their way as much as possible. So other than that, I guess, you know, that's my Sav care video. You know, if you have any other comments or questions regarding Savannah monitors, see, mine is really fat. But if you have any comments or questions regarding Savannah Monitor and their care, you know, just leave it below, and I'll make sure to answer it. You know, I'll get back to you as soon as possible in the comment section, or shoot me an inbox. Anything I forgot about. Thanks for watching. Take care. Make sure to subscribe as well, guys.